So make it easier for people who have the Bible knowledge, like I do. I have lots of it. I study it all the time. I'm always teaching myself and learning. But I just don't have the 4-year degree. And, I have studied enough to be equivalent to being a seminary. I have taken some seminary level classes when I went to Liberty University in Bible, theology, and Baptist doctrine. And I was in there and sat on a few and did some of the work, and I actually got A's and B's on it. But of course, it wasn't credited because I wasn't a graduate. But they said that my level of education, if I were to finish the 4-year degree, if I were to finish, because I got almost 4 years in Bible, if I were to do it, I could be in seminary because I'm at that level, biblically and theologically, honestly speaking. And I've seen some of the greatest debates that are out here in the Bible, and I've studied a lot of different doctrines. And, God just keeps them neatly tucked away in their own compartments in my head, and I don't mix the two or bridge the two. Because they're all different, and they're good to know. And they're good to help in situations when people ask you, about a church. I can just tell you like an encyclopedia, because I know it. And I like it, and I don't do that to cut people down, and you can use it as a teaching tool to know all about the different doctrines that are out there. They're the Protestant or, the premillennial, the millennial, and the Gothic, and the different other types of religions, the Quakers, to know about I can't even think of who they are, but they're up in New York. I have it in my head, but I can't see it in my head. But, the Amish. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you. The Amish. The secretive people, but you need to know about their religion in order to understand it. Doesn't mean what they're doing is right all the way. Being married to more than one person, being real secretive, I don't think that's right. Because, if you're really trying to witness to people, I don't think you need to be real secretive and tucked away somewhere to be able to be a man or woman of God and of faith. You don't have to be in a private community. And the Mormons, they do the same thing. They do exactly the same thing. A lot of things are similar, but even though a lot of things are different because their belief and their theological stance and what they believe in doctrinally is different. So from one, you could be like 150 degrees in either direction on what they believe. Like some churches, a lot of people assume immediately with a basic education of Christian doctrines, people assume that all Mormon churches believe that they believe that they can be married to more than one wife. When truthfully, that is actually a split in the Mormon church. If you really did the research, you would know that some churches believe in polygamy, while other churches don't practice that. So it's a split. So a lot of people don't, but all of a sudden, many people just with basic understanding of doctrines will immediately think that all Mormon churches practice polygamy, but they don't. So yes, it's a split. And if you study your doctrines and know that, you would know that, hands down. But most people assume that, because I hear a lot of some people in the Church of Christ say that, and they're wrong, because not all believe and practice professing Mormons, not all of them believe in polygamy, being married to more than one wife. That's a split. And it's like, do you know about the Disciples Church of Christ or the Independent Church of Christ? Do you know the differences between them? Because even though they have Church of Christ in them, just like you have the Church of Christ of Latter-day Saints, they're not a part of the Jesus Christ Church. They're not a part of Jesus' church just because they have Christ in the name. There's only one church, that's the Church of Christ. But see, you have the Independent Church of Christ, you have the Disciple Church of Christ, you have the Apostle Church of Christ. They're all different types of doctrines. They don't all believe the same thing fundamentally. Some of these churches are evangelic. The only one that really is the Church of Christ that represents the Church of Christ is the Church of Christ. Like Paul Green Church of Christ represents the teachings of Christ under the authority of Christ, under the direction and authorship of Christ. That's where we get our beliefs from. Now, all these other churches that have Christ in the name don't believe essentially the same thing. So that's important to understand that distinction. Because, it's just like, for example, you have Independent Baptists, you have New Baptists, you have Southern Baptists, and then you have And then you have Northern Baptists. They have little differences in their belief. And I could go on and on and on. But you need to understand the differences and where you can use them as a teaching tool. Not to kind of say, well, that one is bad than the other, but you can kind of use it as a teaching tool when you're teaching in Sunday school or teaching behind the pulpit. It's important to have that fundamental mindset just to understand the basis and understand what they really mean. So, we may do a study on doctrines. I'm thinking about it, and I'm kind of toying and pondering with it with God and letting Him lead as the instrument to be able to be the beacon to be able to decide that or not. But, it's all in His hands, because what I do on this channel really comes really directly from Him. Just like we started a sermon series on mature growing Christians, and that's the first of the series. Today was that sermon from the book of Jonah, where we read the first 4 chapters, which really Jonah only consists of 4 chapters, and they're very short. It's one of the shortest books in the Old Testament, or even though it's a minor prophet because it's a small letter, like I said in the sermon, it's still, all the prophets are really major, biblically speaking, anyway. But anyway, just think about it. Please subscribe down below and be in prayer for us, and be in prayer for the churches, the leaders, the preachers, the ministers. Thank you for those who have helped support us. We need $100 for our rent. It needs to be here by Wednesday morning, so I don't get evicted out of here. Please keep that in your prayers, and please help me any way you can. Hope you can get it sent in here. You can drop it off here if you're locally here in Washington, North Carolina. You can come here. You can PM me on Facebook. That means personally message me, and then I can talk to you and give the address so you can drop it on by here if you live here locally in North Carolina. And because all I need is $100 for this month, and the next month we're going to be okay, because I'm going to work on getting to work, and then when September comes here, we won't have this problem anymore, because I'll have work coming in and money by that time to take care of next month's rent. So, but we need to get this in now, because Wednesday the landlord has said that she's going to start evicting me, doing evicting proceedings if it's not in here by Wednesday on the 15th of this month, August, right now that we're in. So please keep that in your prayers. And like I told you, I need $300 every month. So if y'all can help me out with doing work, send some donations in. Not all of it's donation, but a combination of donations and work that would equal up to $300. That's what I need extra, and that's what I needed, and that's what I told my mother before I even moved down here. And I actually did tell her this, because I'm going to need work right away, or I'm going to need at least $300 extra a month, by doing some jobs. And I don't mind doing the jobs. 2 jobs would suffice more than $300. But anyway, just keep that all in your prayers. And if you know anything, you have any information you want to send, drop it down in the comments section below here on YouTube, and let me know something. PM me head me up on Facebook and PM me and let me know what you have for suggestions. Maybe you have a job for me, and I hope you do, because I'd rather work for my money than just get donations. But donations are also good too, any way it comes in. Thank you for all those who have donated, and those who are considering prayerfully to make a donation, or a love offering, or tithe, or tithing with us. Don't use that excuse and say, well, I don't have no money and I'm going through a hard time. And we're all going through a hard time. You just got to reevaluate yourself and say, hey, look, I want to be challenged in my spirit, in my heart, and in my giving. And I'm going to give something to this minister, because he does so much stuff online that he serves us and gives a lot of valuable, vital, important information. And I want to be a part of that. And I'm not going to just thumb up his videos and just say thank you, but I'm going to actually really take a financial part and commitment in this video. And I want to thank Doug Orvis for sending donations in. And I want to thank and encourage, and I hope that he'll be able to continue, and God would bless him to help us with that more in the future, if he's able to do so. And I want to thank him for all the times that he did give in the past. I really appreciate that, Doug. And I'm praying for you for your condition, that your pain and everything goes away in your back. And I lift that up to God. And I love you all in Christ, always Jesus. And, Jesus, in your wonderful name, just keep these in your prayers, and please help us any way you can. This is so dire, and this is so important. I wouldn't ask for this money unless I really need it, and I really do. So if you can help me with work, spread this video around, share it on your website, on your blog, wherever. you want to share it. And, show it to your pastors and ministers and see what you can do to help us. So I won't have to be so tight, because I could do some work for you, maybe some computer work, maybe some ministry. Maybe I can help you with the ministry in some way, or maybe doing some of the overhead PowerPoint or Proclaim presentations, because I do use those programs, and I do have that here, and I could do that as a business for other churches. So we could talk about that as a possibility, as me getting paid to write up you give me your outline and everything, and I could put it in a nice presentation through Proclaim, if that's what you use, or through PowerPoint presentation. I could do that too. So let me know what you want, and I'm here for you. And PM me on Facebook, or leave a comment down below in YouTube under the video. Thanks a lot. Please subscribe. Make sure you subscribe down below right there. And I love you. Take care, everyone. This is Michael DeSilva's Roundtable Discussion. Let you know about future plans of New Hunter Church of Christ and what we're currently doing. That's what this video is about. Take care.